Hi guys, my name is Kirsty and welcome back to Upside Down Books. Today we're going to be doing the video we've all been waiting for, my February TBR jar. Ta-da-da. Non più tra I farfalloni amoroso, notte giorno di... Now, if you haven't watched my 2022 reading goals, you might not be aware that I've changed my TBR jar system. So as a quick recap, I have added a sixth jar, which is a challenge jar. So if you want to find out more about what's going to be in this jar, then make sure you go and watch my 2022 reading challenges where I go through all of the things that will be included in the challenge jar itself. This is just basically to make sure I tackle some of my annual reading challenges along the way. I'm really excited. A couple of other changes I've made is that my ARCs jar is now my ARC veteran jar, so everything that I've been sent that is over a year old for review, most of them are unsolicited copies, stuff I haven't specifically requested, so I'm not committing too heinous a sin here. And then the other one is the backlist has become the TBR veterans jar, so everything that is 3 years or older that is on my TBR, and surprisingly, that was still most of my backlist. The most eye-opening thing about sitting down and cutting out all these tiny pieces of paper, once again, was that my backlist is honestly about 3 to 5 or 6 years old. There's just this massive stagnant pool of books. So let's see that with my first TBR jar pick of the year, if I can get on the right foot for tackling this problem. I am hoping to do a better job this year, and each month for getting to each of these books I am still doing 6 picks. I have been reading anywhere between 7 and 10 books a month on average lately, so I'm actually really hopeful that I'll be able to read a review copy if I have any on the pile, which I do at the moment, as well as all of my TBR. I want to read more of the TBR jar picks than I got to last year. That was disappointing to not get to it. So without further ado, let's start picking. I've also changed the jars they're in, so I don't know which jar is which now. Okay, we're starting with sequels. All my things are much bigger, which in hindsight was probably a mistake. It's much harder to pick. So these are all of my sequels. There's quite a lot in here, especially as I've just done my sequels order. So let's see what I pick. Okay, right, so the first sequel that I've picked out is Dragon Blood Ring, which is the sequel to the Blazeroth games. Now, I'm still waiting on my copy for this to arrive, as I've only just ordered it, but by the time that I'll be ready to read, as I am pre-filming this a little bit in advance, my copy should have arrived. I am so curious where book 2 in the Blazeroth games is going to go. Book 1 I rated 3 stars and I almost didn't want to continue, but then I thought, no, I really want to know where it's going, and it's humans riding dragons and competitions and all sorts of stuff goes down. So that's the first pick of the month. So I believe this next jar is my diversity jar, and again, really full due to the size of the pieces of paper. Let's see what I get. This is such a mixed bag. Oh, so I picked out Clap When You Land. So this is something that's been relatively new to the TBR. So this is Clap When You Land, stunning cover. It's by Elizabeth Acevedo. I still haven't looked up how to pronounce this name, and I think it is following I think the main character is from the Dominican Republic, though it seems that there are 2 characters, and it's going to be a little bit sad. Gosh, is it all written in prose? Is this one that's written in... This will be really quick to read. Look at all the spacing here. So that should be interesting. I usually don't like that, but the last books, like quite a few books previously that I've read in this format, I've actually really enjoyed, so this will be good to finally pick up and read. This is my presents jar, so let's see. This is presents from my birthday and Christmas in 2021. Everything previously to that has been moved on. Oh, Letters from Berlin. So this is historical fiction. So this is Letters from Berlin. It's by Tanya Blanchard, and I recently read Echoes of War by the same author. I am expecting great things from this. I'm hoping it'll be quite a lovely read. Yeah, just really, really crossing my fingers because I have high expectations that this is going to be as good as Echoes of War, if not even better. This is my veteran ARCs jar, so we will see which ones here. I think almost most of the ARCs stayed in here. Most of the ones I haven't got to yet are over a year old, so let's see what we will be trying to read in February. Oh, The Vanishing Deep. I'm so excited that got picked out. So The Vanishing Deep is by Astrid Schuldt, and I've read one of her other books, which I found very, very easy to read, and my sisters read this and said it was really good. So that's really exciting. Now, where is it? So this is The Vanishing Deep, and it's a reasonably good sized book, and I believe it's all sort of in the future where they're living underwater because of rising ocean levels. That's what I understand this book to be. I have really been wanting to get to this for quite a long time, so I'm really happy that this is on the TBR. Dun, dun. This is the TBR veteran, so everything that's 3 years or more on my TBR. So that is going from 2019 backwards. And it's obviously quite full, so I don't know how it's going to be quite messy to pick from. I'm so nervous. I always get very nervous by this one because it could really be anything. Got one, I've got one, I've got one, I've got one. Two. Right, let's see. What is it? I picked out Leviathan. Guys, I'm so excited to read this one. So this is a beautiful hardback book I've had that has been on my TBR for a long time. This is older than 3 years, I think. And I recently bought the sequel to go with it. I am obsessed with the cover and the map in these books. So yeah, book 2 is also just as beautiful. And from what I understand, this is a steampunk reimagining of World War I, so it could not possibly be more up my alley if I tried. So that is so exciting to finally be reading. Yeah, that was lucky. That was a great pick. Good start to the year so far. So those are my 5 picks from what are more or less my regular jars. This is my challenges jar. So there are about 5 different challenges in here, and I'll need to pick an appropriate book to complete whichever challenge I pick out for this month. I'm so excited to have this jar. I think it's really going to make things more interesting. So let's see. Which challenges are gonna be? Now there's not very many in here because the idea is I will repeat pick out throughout the year as I want to tackle all of these. Okay, so my first one is to read a Kindle book. So this is actually probably coming as a surprise to you because this is something that I decided to add in after I made my 2022 reading goals. So looking at everything I have on my Kindle, I am going to read Sisters of the Wolf, which was actually a review copy that's taken me a little while to get around to, largely because I got it through NetGalley, which gave me a PDF, and I ended up just buying the ebook myself because I can't read and don't want to read on PDFs. So Sisters of the Wolf is the other book I will be reading off my Kindle in February. So this is my TBR pick for February. Really excited about this, plus the other 2 books I don't have the copies of right here with me. I can't wait to dive into them. I'm loving the new TBR system being a bit revamped. I think that that's really awesome. So let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these or if you're planning to, and which one you are most excited to hear my thoughts on. Other than that, I will see you in my next video. Goodbye. Alla gloria militar.